welcome into a special edition of the 904 at 904. Now, I know that many of you have probably noticed more tourism-related content on the website, My904 News, or the social media pages. It's a problem, and it's a problem that city officials have no interest in addressing, kind of like the way they have no interest in addressing any of your other concerns. So, I want to start this special report today by saying that just one of our objectives here is truly to curb the disastrous tourism market affecting St. Augustine, if nothing else for the sake of our own personal convenience. That's one of the reasons we highlight some of the most hilarious fails St. Augustine has to offer, which are surprisingly easy to find on a weekly basis. The main reason I'm here, of course, is to make sure and give you a genuine laugh at the chaos and general insanity that is our local area. But today I want to focus on the people that our local governments seem to love so much. And I'll give you a hint. None of them are you. Tourists. A local tourism organization says on the St. Johns County government website that tourism is St. Johns County's economic engine, which is odd because I figured local businesses actually made the money and paid the taxes while at the same time putting their livelihood on the line for these ungrateful, floral button-up shirt-wearing, fanny pack stuffing, big dumb sunglass-having weird people who rudely pour in from all corners of the world. In a purposefully confusing stat on their website, the local government says that visitors spend almost $6,000 per St. Augustine resident, and that they generate over $42 million in sales tax revenue, which sounds impressive until you realize they're citing statistics from 2 censuses ago. This troubling piece of information leads me to believe that pre-recession 2008 was their most stat-worthy year and the best year to look at in order to not piss off locals. Basically, the city is just rolling out the old myth that tourism drives our entire economy, while using outdated numbers to validate their frankly insulting claims. The website also credits tourism agencies for supporting businesses like the St. Augustine Amphitheater. So let's step back from the local government's wet and our fever dream and take a look at reality. St. Johns County's population has grown by roughly 100,000 people since the 2000 census that they are most likely citing on the website, from around 123,000 to now about 217,000 residents. Already you can see by using the updated numbers and their own formula, the income per person is pretty much cut in half. Plus, when you add in the fact that until the pathetic 450th celebration last year, tourism was still trying to make a comeback here in St. Augustine, numbers will obviously be down again this year. So, even though tourism was down and our population was up, by some stroke of magic, we held on to one of the lowest unemployment rates in the state and the nation, as well as keeping a high income per capita and pretty much braving the recession with almost no discomfort. Tourists weren't coming here, and all that really meant for us was not having to yell at Jacques Francois to learn how to drive in America. But let me move on from bashing tourists to my next point, directed at the county officials in charge of skewing website stats. You might want to step back and credit the amphitheater for their role in supporting you. Without a legit venue like them, we're stuck fucking up events that no one else on Earth could destroy, like the Harry Potter Festival and our own fucking 450th birthday party, which, without the amphitheater's help, would have been one of the most depressing events in modern human history, right next to the Hindenburg and every Jaguars game since 1997. At this point, telling residents that St. Augustine is throwing an event is like telling your 3-year-old daughter that Mickey and Minnie are throwing her a birthday party. And then Mickey Rourke shows up carrying a decaying corpse of old-time country singer Minnie Pearl. It wasn't exactly what you made it out to be. You knew it. And the only thing we got out of it was the smell of death and awkward drunks scaring children into a life of therapy. But no one seems to want to acknowledge the problem, mostly because of how lucrative tourism is for politicians, and because of the fact that every local news outlet has a favorite politician in town. Well, my fellow St. Augustinians, today's the day that all that changes. We can't keep looking to crooked politicians, we have to look to ourselves, and put the power back in the hands of the people who pay the taxes in this town. That's why, today, I'm announcing the creation of a new local organization aimed at specifically counteracting governmental and corporate agencies who only have their own best interests in mind when it comes to profiting from tourism. Today we say that skewing stats from 20 years ago isn't acceptable in 2017. St. Augustine has a very real and vibrant local economy and a population of almost 250,000. We don't need the Griswolds to support us anymore. So today, I want to introduce you to a very real organization called the Anti-Tourism Council. What is the Anti-Tourism Council, you might ask? It's simple. The goal behind it is to fund and create media like this that counteracts agencies like Visit Florida and our own city and county commissioners' efforts to import tourism at our expense. We want to show tourists as many meth busts, as many crappy events, as many videos and articles as we possibly can to discourage people from adding St. Augustine to their travel agenda. And if they're already here, we want to make sure they feel as uncomfortable and unwanted as possible. We want them to know that we want them gone. Yes, tourists, we're really talking to you. That's why our logo is meant to represent you, flying the fuck out of here. But we don't do it alone, and we can't. We need help from every local who remembers the days of a free and open US 1. Every local who hasn't been downtown in 2 years because the drive only drives them to a Xanax prescription. And we especially need the help from everyone who can't stand any of the city's proposals to further fuck up their businesses in favor of tourist parking. So if you're sick of waiting through 2 cycles at the Lions Bridge, you're ready to visit the Anti-Tourism Council's official website at antitourismcouncil.org. If you don't believe it exists, I strongly urge you to call me on it and go there. You can support this show from the website as well as get cool-ass merch, like these Go Home Tourist stickers, which I have to say I highly don't recommend buying a shitload of and sticking on every car you see in town with an out-of-town license plate, or plastering around town at gas stations, etc. I definitely do not recommend doing that at all. You can also buy the Very Honest shirt that I happen to be wearing right now, which affectionately states my feelings towards every one of you close-to-death, lazy-eyed out-of-towners who sets foot past the city gates. And if I actually have any generous people out there watching, which I sort of doubt because of the abrasive nature of this show, you can also donate there to keep our program going. There's a whole lot more available, and you have my promise, on video, that everything for sale is completely real. If you support us by ordering, I don't know, a Fuck Meth shirt, you will get a professionally printed shirt that says Fuck Meth on it. And you can also be assured that all of the funds go right back into producing content that is aimed at giving you a laugh, possibly some new abs, and will also encourage tourists to go somewhere else. The benefits are amazing. We also plan to actually run extremely discouraging TV and radio ads in New York, Indiana, Tennessee, and Quebec, because those seem to be the cars, in my experience, that most likely have the worst drivers at the wheel. Ads like this one. Welcome to St. Augustine, the oldest European-occupied city in the United States. We have a lot to do here, so get ready. Do you like being up close and personal with danger? Visit the alligator farm and hold a real crocodile. Or go downtown and hang out with the people using Crocodile. They're completely unpredictable and feel no pain. So the danger level is through the roof. We also have the Castillo de San Marcos. Originally built to protect St. Augustine from invaders, it's now a great place to escape the smell of the 7,000 tourists baking in the hot sun, or to hide from the local population who can't stand your f***ing guts. Seriously, the city commissions are the only people who want you here, and you might leave in a coma the way things are going. Other than the amphitheater, there's a huge lack of anything to do. But don't worry, your kids will have plenty of opportunities to develop a heroin addiction in their spare time. So if your summer plans include getting dirty looks in the blistering heat, waiting in traffic because of a drawbridge, yep, a drawbridge, you know, like the ones you hear about in stories from way back in the 1500s, or if you just want up-close exposure to drugs you didn't know existed, don't waste time booking a trip and paying our bed tax. Just shoot yourself in the foot with a .22 instead. Between the dirty looks, long lines, and pharmaceuticals you'll get at the ER, you'll have roughly the same experience as you would coming to St. Augustine, Florida. This ad was paid for and approved by the Anti-Tourism Council and St. Augustine residents who can't f***ing stand you. Oh, that's right. You didn't think I was serious, did you? That ad is already ready to go and formatted to all TV specifications. There's also an audio version to give to radio stations. When it runs, people will see it and people will hear it. All we need is your help. So if you're looking for a way to help support St. Augustine locals while at the same time experiencing the thrill of knowing you're an actual superhero who actively fights tourism, visit the Anti-Tourism Council at antitourismcouncil.org and support the cause today. You can feel good knowing that you're helping local entertainers as well as joining the very real fight to curb tourism. Together, one tourist at a time, we can make St. Augustine an easier place to live, drive, and flourish. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a proper show without a quick check of the weather. And that's about all the time we have left for this week. Don't forget to visit the Anti-Tourism Council at antitourismcouncil.org if for no other reason than to confirm that it actually exists. There you can join the fight against Visit Florida and others and help bring back some sense of normalcy to St. Augustine. Thank you, and remember, the next time you see a tourist, hopefully you're wearing a Fuck Tourist t-shirt.